Alright, hi guys. So this is my first tutorial. I'll be showing you how I paint hair on Procreate for the iPad Pro, as I was asked to do. My recording quality isn't the best, but bear with me. This is the best I can do with my equipment right now. So I'm starting out with the sketch here, as you can see, and then I'm kind of getting an idea of the colors I want to work with. If I use warm-toned base colors and highlights, then I'll go for a more cool color for the shadows. You can play around with this a little, but you usually want to have the bright spots and the dark spots to have opposing tones. So yeah. I did the face already since we won't be focusing on that, and now I'm just adding the base color for the hair on a layer underneath the sketch. I'll use a brighter but not fully saturated color for the base, and then go in with a darkened saturated color for some basic shading. You want to kind of outline different chunks of hair and make them flow. Start off with like bigger chunks rather than trying to detail each little hair. That'll take longer and probably won't look as good, as I know from previous experience. So then once you have some flowing chunks of hair mapped out, you want to go in with another color that's more saturated along the tips and the roots of the hair, where like the light parts meet the dark parts, kind of just the top and the bottom. I chose red because it fits with the candlelit setting that I'm going for, but it could be neon blue if that's what works for your piece. So now what I've done is I've lowered the opacity of the sketch layer and merged it with the base color layer. You want to lower the opacity first, so those rough sketchy marks are easy to blend, but still keep the layers so you know where you need definition. Now I'm going through and defining some more smaller chunks of hair. For this, you want really, you want long flowing strokes to make it seem more hair-like. Then I'm going through with that base blonde color again to make sure there isn't too much shadow, and to add some highlights where the light would hit the hair. You always need to be thinking of the lighting when you're doing this. My lighting is coming from below, so most of my highlights will be near the tips of that. If your lighting comes from above, you need to do it at the top, near the roots. So now I'm adding more highlights, like I said, and I think I used an add layer for this to give some more brightness. You know, there's different settings you can put, like little different layer modes you can put the layers. Add is under the light section. So then I went in with some more red where the light meets the shadow, and now I'm going in with the darkest shadow and places where the hair would logically be the darkest, so like on the roots and coming out from under the headband. Shade in between the chunks and then after you've shaded in between them, shade lightly over whole areas where it needs to be shadowed. Usually when I'm doing shading, I'll use the round brush under the painting section with about 60 to 80% opacity, and then I'll lower that when I need to do large shadows or highlights, because those you don't want them quite as opaque. So now that I have all the colors I'm going to use on the canvas, I use the eyedropper tool to select the actual colors on and continue painting with those. So not the colors that I've set aside and chosen, but the ones that are actually on the painting that I've painted. So this is mostly for extra blending and defining. So now I finish up the face here real quick using the same technique. Now I'm making it actually look like hair. The smudge tool is now your best friend. Use it with the same round brush on around 80 to 90% opacity, and use short flowing strokes to make the ends of anything look more jagged and or flowing and less blocky, depending on what you want. It's hard to just straight paint hair in this program, it's Procreate, but using the smudge tool like that, you can make it look realistic anyway. So now I'm just going in and doing that to each chunk, blending the shadows into the lighter areas to define it so it looks like actual realistic. This is extremely helpful for doing the edges. I'm cleaning mine up with. I had to clean up that back area a lot because I didn't plan the flowiness too well. That's okay. With the smudge tool, it's easy to blend the erased parts back in. Now I'm going in with a color dodge or add layer with an orange color, just a really brightly saturated orange color, to add more saturation and brightness on the parts closest to the candle. Which type you use, whether it's a color dodge layer or an add layer, is really up to your own preference. Sometimes one looks better than the other with certain colors or certain color schemes, whatever you've got going on in your paint. I'm using the soft airbrush for this under the airbrush category. Then I just clean up. Then on an add layer, I'm going in with some bright orange highlights and smudging them in as needed. Then I just clean up all the edges and add some background decoration, and voila! Rose is complete. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I tried to explain things as best I could, but this is my first time making one of these, so yeah. Leave a thumbs up or a comment below if you liked it, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you'd like more videos like this. If enough people do, then I'm considering making more tutorials for other things as well. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Bye!